USIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Folks, you know Randy Marion sells vehicles the King of Price way, but did you know our service department? We service vehicles the King of Price way. We sell tires, we sell brakes, we sell batteries, we sell the maintenance. We help you keep your vehicle on the road safe, ready to drive, whatever the season is. Randy Marion service departments have you covered. Come see us today because, folks, again, you know we sell the King of Price way and we do service the King of Price way.
King of Price, RandyMarionStatesville.com.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are here. We have made it to yet another Friday. I didn't think we'd make it, but here we are. It is Friday. You're listening to the Scoreboard right here on WSIC. You can also watch the video on Facebook, YouTube, X, LinkedIn, WSICnews.com. That is where our video streams can be located from anywhere in the world. The W in WSIC stands for worldwide. 844-STUDIO-4, that's 844-788-3464. If you have something on your mind, have you been paying attention to the news cycle in the world of sports? Is there something that is grabbing at your mind that you'd like to talk about? You can call me up. We'll talk about it. And I'm going to leave today's question the same as yesterday. I didn't get anybody calling in yesterday to talk about Dave Canales, the new head coach of the Carolina Panthers. I want to know, now that we've had some time to digest it, what do you, the listeners, think about this hire for the Carolina Panthers? I know we don't know a lot about Dave Canales. He's only been with the Seahawks for, 13 years, and then 1 year as the offensive coordinator with the Buccaneers. So we don't know too much about him, but he is the new head football coach of the Carolina Panthers. Very familiar with Dan Morgan, the new GM, as they worked together in Seattle for about 7 seasons, I believe. A lot of things on the docket for today. Obviously, we have our high school basketball update. Lots of games going on tonight. Some of them starting within the next hour. So we will have that for you coming up shortly. Also, we're going to talk about the NFL playoffs. Conference championship games are this weekend. One of them at 3 o'clock on Sunday. The other one at 6:30. We will have the details for you on that, as well as some NASCAR discussions. Maybe not NASCAR specifically, but motorsport discussion, as well as Charlotte FC, as we are getting closer and closer to those springtime sports starting to get underway. Pitchers and catchers for baseball report in like 2 weeks or something insane like that. There is spring training. There's a game at the end of February for the MLB. So things are about to pick up as we get into the spring and into the summer. Obviously, we have March Madness coming up. We will get into a little bit of college basketball, preview the weekend for you, see what games you should have your eyes on. And then lastly, if we have time, we are going to touch on the NHL, as we are getting awfully close to the All-Star break in the NHL season. Carolina Hurricanes only have one more game before we get to that break. That game is tomorrow. They're at home. They're still in the middle of this homestand. They'll be taking on the Arizona Coyotes. As I said, 844-STUDIO-4 is the phone number, 844-788-3464. Let's circle back to the way we always start our sports conversations. High school basketball, and starting out no different than we have been for the past couple of months with Mooresville basketball. Their game is today. As we mentioned earlier in the week, they lost to Lake Norman on Tuesday, 89-54. They look to bounce back against Cox Mills this weekend at 7:30. That's what time that game will be tipping off. Cox Mill 9-8 on the year, 3-3 in the conference. Very middle of the road. Maybe Mooresville able to get back on track. That is a road game. It is the last. Well, they didn't really have a road stand. They were home against Lake Norman. Before that, they were on the road. Now they're on the road. Then when they come back next week, they're at home. So they're just kind of flip-flopping back and forth right now. But this is a road game for Mooresville against Cox Mill. And then on, I believe on Tuesday, they will be taking on Hickory Ridge, and we'll definitely have our eyes on that one. Lake Norman basketball, the best team in the immediate area, 17-1, 6-0 in the conference. They had a game yesterday. They were on the road taking on Hickory Ridge, the team we were just talking about, and Lake Norman handling business there, giving Hickory Ridge their first conference loss of the season and only their fourth loss overall in the year, as Lake Norman takes down Hickory Ridge 77-58. One more road game for Lake Norman before they end this road stand. That's going to be next week. They'll be taking on A.L. Brown at 7:30. Let's talk a little bit about Statesville High School, because I do have a small announcement to make. I will call it an announcement because I do want to continue to preview this as we get closer. On Monday, Coach Melvin Nesbitt for Statesville High School basketball will be joining us live on the program. He will also be joined by one of his players, that being Caleb Tillman. Caleb has been the leading scorer for Statesville this year, as he's put together quite the season. So we will have those two gentlemen in here on Monday to chat Statesville basketball, chat school, chat coaching, basically whatever my little mind wants to talk about. You know, that can go many different directions if you've been watching the show long enough. But Statesville High School, their game is today. They're on the road against North Lincoln. 7 o'clock start time for that game tonight. Moving right along to West Iredell, one of the teams in the area that has not had a good season. Their most recent game on the 24th was a blowout loss to Statesville. They lost 70-30. Their next game is today, actually. They'll be at home at 7:30, taking on St. Stephen's. And St. Stephen's, a couple of close games against them earlier in the year. Actually, one game against them earlier in the year where it wasn't a complete blowout, but we'll see what West Iredell is able to accomplish. North Iredell has been kind of teetering here as of late. They had a bad start, and just like Statesville, they went on a run, and then recently things have gotten bad. One win in their last 5 games. They lost to Hickory last night, and as we talked about, Hickory is the team to beat in the 3A Western Foothills Conference. 17-0 on the season, 7-0 in conference. And the final score of this game, 95-34. That is a tough pill to swallow. Next game for North Iredell is actually today. They're on the road against Ford High School at 8 o'clock. And lastly, we have South Iredell High School, 2-16 on the year. They play on the road against West Cabarrus. Tip-off for that one is 7:30. Man, hopefully South Iredell can get themselves a win, get a conference victory. They're last in the 4A Metro. It's been a really tough year for the South Iredell Vikings. We made it to the first break of this Friday. Stay with me here on the scoreboard. We got a lot of good things coming up, including sports history, which we will be adding every single day. Don't go anywhere. We're back after this.
Keep it right here. We'll have more of the Scoreboard with Joe Berg in just a moment from 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Well, partly cloudy skies. We headed to our Friday evening, but the clouds build back in overnight. Temperatures dipping down into the mid-50s. For our Saturday, it's a soggy day on the way. Some scattered showers in the morning and then some heavy rain possible by the afternoon and the evening. Just make plans to stay indoors. You'll need the rain gear for Saturday. High temperatures are in the upper 50s to near 60. For Sunday, a shower could linger in the morning, but we're clearing it out for the afternoon. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here's your WSIC community calendar. Merlefest is back, April 25th through the 28th at Wilkes Community College. Featuring nearly 100 performers, including Old Crow Medicine Show, Turnpike Troubadours, the Teskey Brothers, Nickel Creek, and more. Tickets and information can be found at merlefest.org. Listen each morning to Good Morning LKN for your chance to win tickets. Want to attend the Greater Charlotte Home and Landscape Show? How about the Charlotte Home and Remodeling Show? Throughout the day, you have your chance to win tickets. Listen to Good Morning LKN, the Home Ad Show, the News Drive at 5, and the Scoreboard. Each show gives you your chance to win. The Greater Charlotte Home and Garden Show, February 23rd through the 25th. The Charlotte Home and Remodeling Show, January 26th through the 28th. Mooresville's Parks and Recreation is excited to bring The Great Magician Murder Mystery Dinner Theater to the Charles Mack Citizen Center, Saturday, February 10th. This is not your usual murder mystery experience. An evening of theater and mystery that will have you laughing and gasping. The Great Magician Murder Mystery Dinner Theater, Saturday, February 10th. For more info, visit ourtownstage.com. Chi-Town Transit Authority is coming to Kane Center for the Arts, Saturday, February 3rd. Come hear the 8-piece Chicago tribute band, horn and woodwind sections included. Chi-Town Transit Authority, Kane Center for the Arts, Saturday, February 3rd. kanearts.org. That's CAIN arts.org. Have an event you'd like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
Does your business provide coffee for employees or customers? Black Powder Coffee can supply you with fresh roasted coffee, a variety of daily signature blends including flavored coffees such as cinnamon roll and Kahlua and cream. We even have bourbon-infused coffee in collaboration with Southern Distilling Company. Visit blackpowdercoffee.com or stop by and see us at 261 Rolling Hill Road in Mooresville. Black Powder Coffee.
The Scoreboard with Joe Berg continues now on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Well, we are back. It is segment number 2 here on the Scoreboard on this beautiful Friday. Has everybody been outside today? Been enjoying this nice weather? Sunshine, 70 degrees, no rain. Man, yesterday it rained. It poured all day. It is terrible. So I hope everybody's able to get some sun rays in today and enjoy this 70-degree weather. Because, man, I'm in shorts. It's January 26th, and I'm wearing shorts, and I'm comfortable in the shorts. Wild times we live in, am I right? 844-STUDIO-4, that's 844-788-3464. If you have something you'd like to talk about, we are going to move right along here into the NFL. And I've posed the question to anybody listening that wants to call up and discuss it. How do we feel about Dave Canales? I'm still on the fence. I mean, I can't remember a time where I've just been so, yeah, maybe it's good, maybe it's not good. I just don't know, because we all know what the problem is in Carolina. It's the owner. And you can't change that. There's 0% chance that he gets the Dan Snyder treatment because Dan Snyder was a lot worse than David Tepper. All David Tepper does is fire people. Dan Snyder did a whole lot more than that, but he's not going to get that treatment. So we're going to have to stick with this and hope that he can come to his senses and realize that he is the problem in the room. One day. I know every time I talk about this, my chances of getting him on air less and less, but that's okay. That's okay, because I got to tell you how I feel, and that's how I feel. Here's a story that is starting to blow up that we talked about yesterday. Headline from NFL's Grant Gordon. No indication Bill Belichick is in the running for the 2 remaining head coach openings. And I said it yesterday, if you would have told me, even when Brady left, even if you would have told me that season, hey, Brady's gone in a few years, in 2024, Belichick is going to be out of the NFL, I would have told you you were crazy. Maybe not as polite as that, but I would have said you're crazy. Belichick, the greatest coach in the NFL, he's not going to be out of the NFL because nobody wants him. He's going to leave on his own terms. No. It's not going to happen. And I'll tell you what, there are a lot of interesting head coaches that or coordinators or former head coach who have been interviewed and aren't going to get a job. There's 2 left. Nobody's hired Ben Johnson, the Lions offensive coordinator. And don't forget, one of the biggest coaching candidates this year, Mike Vrabel. He's still out there. Nobody's taken Vrabel. It's been an interesting year for the NFL and people who are possibly going to be their next head coach. Also, just an update on the Chargers. They did end up hiring Jim Harbaugh, 5-year contract. And then for Dave Canales, it was released yesterday that he is officially the head coach of the Carolina Panthers. So it was not officially official until last night. I still haven't seen anything on contract status, how much he's going to make, how many years. But if I had to guess, knowing David Tepper, it's going to be like 6 years, $60 million or something like that. That he's going to get fired next year and still get all that money. It's pretty hard. It's pretty hard to be positive. But I still don't know how things are going to shake out. You have the Seattle Seahawks and the Washington Commanders still without a head coach. And according to sources, nobody is interested in Bill Belichick. Wow. Also, Pete Carroll. I know it was announced that he would be moving into a front office job with the Seahawks, but I thought he still wanted to coach. So I'm surprised that nobody has looked into him, even if he is going to be at a different position than head coach. This weekend, we have the conference championship games, and a little bit of news along with that is the Ravens tight end Mark Andrews has been activated off the injured reserve list. He will make his return in the AFC Championship game. There were some other injuries that were mentioned for the Chiefs. Isaiah Pacheco, who had a turf toe, he's questionable, and it's really tough to come back from a turf toe. And Joe Thuney, pec injury, he is out for the championship game. That is an all-pro offensive tackle that the Chiefs are going to be without. That is big. So the first game of the weekend, Sunday at 3 o'clock on CBS, you will have the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Baltimore Ravens. And I'm starting to feel a certain way about the Chiefs. At first, it was all fun. It was a lot of fun. Like, who is this Patrick Mahomes guy? Look at these throws he's making. Oh my goodness, he won a Super Bowl already while Tom Brady was still in the league. And then Tom Brady won his final Super Bowl. We know how that goes. But now, with no Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes is taking his place. And I'm not talking about as the greatest player in the world, as the most disliked player in the world. Because Patrick Mahomes in 6 seasons has never missed an AFC championship game. He has only played 2 road games in 18 playoff games. That's insane. You do not see that. So people are just going to hate on the greatness. And I don't blame these people, especially after earlier in the year, the regular season game against the Buffalo Bills and the small downward spiral that they had after that, with Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes meeting at midfield, and Patrick Mahomes not even saying good game. He just complained about the refs to Josh Allen, who he wasn't even on the field for that. I don't know if Patrick Mahomes knows this, but when he is on offense, Josh Allen is not on the field because Josh Allen's also on offense. So, complaining to the refs, to him, was incredibly pointless. So I don't know how we feel about this. I don't know if people want the Ravens to win either. I don't know what the general thought around Lamar Jackson is. I like Lamar Jackson. I don't think he got what he deserved the last couple of years. Yeah, he's going to get hurt every once in a while. He's a running quarterback. He likes to run, and he does it well. And it's going to be the reason he gets a Super Bowl. But to not pay him because he is injury prone for running the ball? What if he said, I know this is water under the bridge at this point, and this was last offseason, and we're talking about stuff that's been resolved, but what if he just stopped running? Would you still want to give him $230 million? No, because that's half of his game right there. I'd like to see the Ravens come out victorious in this one. I'm getting tired of the Chiefs, man. I really am. And I don't want to, because I want to avoid the feelings that I had towards the Patriots and Tom Brady and Bill Belichick of just absolutely hating everything about them and not appreciating the greatness that we were being shown right in front of us. Because it wasn't until Brady left the Patriots and probably until his final season where I feel like a lot of people were like, man, Tom Brady was great. What a player. What a run. Got a little sidetracked there with that conversation. But the second game on Sunday, Lions on the road against the San Francisco 49ers. And I know most of the NFL fans in the world will be rooting for the Lions because they have one of the most electric head coaches in football, in Dan Campbell. Man, listening to his speeches is something else. So the Lions head to San Francisco. No rain in the forecast in San Francisco this weekend, but it doesn't sound like Deebo Samuel is going to be playing. He's questionable. But if Deebo isn't going to play, that's going to change everything. And you know what? Just my luck, even though I've correctly predicted that my 2 Super Bowl picks made it to the NFC Championship game, we're going to end up getting Chiefs-Lions. That's what's going to happen. I just feel it. I just feel it. Let's head to a commercial break before we come back and wrap up the NFL talk and get into some other sports and head you off into the weekend. You're listening to the Scoreboard right here on WSIC. We got a lot more in store for you. Only halfway through with the show today, so don't go anywhere. We're back after this.
More of Sports director Joe Berg's The Scoreboard is coming up on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Well, partly cloudy skies. We headed to our Friday evening, but the clouds build back in overnight. Temperatures dipping down into the mid-50s. For our Saturday, it's a soggy day on the way. Some scattered showers in the morning and then some heavy rain possible by the afternoon and the evening. Just make plans to stay indoors. You'll need the rain gear for Saturday. High temperatures are in the upper 50s to near 60. For Sunday, a shower could linger in the morning, but we're clearing it out for the afternoon. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Got a Toyota? Get it serviced at Quality Car Care of Statesville. Looking for a great pre-owned vehicle? Quality Car Care has you covered at 2040 Old Mountain Road. Visit QualityCarCareStatesville.com. Little Shavers Wood Shop and Building Supply is your one-stop source for winter electric and torpedo heaters, heat lamps, pine and cedar shavings, ice melt, and snow sleds. Plus, year-round items including PPG paints and stains, tools for plumbing and heating, and automotive supplies. Over 55,000 warehouse products available. You'll find Little Shavers on Facebook and online at littleshavers.com. That's LILshavers.com.
Learn how thousands of smart homeowners are investing about $1 to avoid expensive home repair bills. John, a former non-customer, said, "My air conditioner broke and I had to spend $1,900 to fix it." Jeff, a customer, wrote, "My air conditioner broke and I got a new one at no out-of-pocket cost." Mary, a former non-customer, wrote, "My heating system stopped running. I had to spend $3,000 to get a new one." Lisa, a customer, wrote, "My heater stopped working. I got it fixed at no out-of-pocket cost." For about $1 a day, you can have all the major appliances and systems in your home guaranteed fixed or replaced. Call now. If the lines are busy, please call back.
Call the Home Warranty Hotline now at 800-826-9149, 800-826-9149, 800-826-9149. That's 800-826-9149.
Are you 60 plus and love to travel? Introducing the Senior Travel Discount Network, brought to you by Low Cost Airlines. Call us anytime, day or night, and save up to 75% on your airline and hotel reservations. We can help you save a ton of money to fly almost anywhere. We have inside discounts on over 500 airlines and 500,000 hotels worldwide. And when you call and mention the discount code 60 plus, we'll give you an extra free night with your qualified air and hotel reservation. Now you can get the best prices on air and hotel reservations with your phone. We make it easy and fast for you to save money and book a trip. Remember, call the Senior Travel Discount Network. Mention the discount code 60 plus for your free hotel night with your qualified reservation. Call now.
210-503-7591. 210-503.
The Ugly Antenna has now become a household name in this area. The Ugly Antenna allows those without a streaming provider to receive up to 50 channels absolutely free of charge, including Fox 46.1. The Ugly Antenna is small and connects directly to your TV. Get the Ugly Antenna for just $40. Call 704-682-1755. That's 704-682-1755 for the Ugly Antenna.
Be a part of the conversation.
We can't fix America's debt by starving its people.
Have your say.
One shooting after another, and we're doing nothing to solve it?
This is WSIC News Talk Now.
Have you ever met a single person in your life that enjoys paying taxes? No, no one does. If you can't sleep at night because you have a huge problem with the IRS, I've got some free advice for you. This service is strictly limited to individuals that owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes. And if you qualify, we can guarantee that you won't be writing a big fat check to the IRS, or our services cost you nothing. The first 100 people that call today will get a free tax consultation worth $500. Stop worrying about your IRS problem. We can help you, we promise. Call the tax doctor right now. I mean right now, to learn more.
Call 800-239-8296. 800-239-8296. 800-239...
Talk sports with Joe Berg. Call 844-STUDIO 4. It's the Scoreboard on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
All right, everyone, we are here. It is the second half of the show on this Friday, and like I said, I hope everybody got outside today and got to enjoy the beautiful, beautiful weather. 844 Studio 4, that's 844-788-3464. Still asking the question of the day. If you have an opinion on the new Panthers head coach, Dave Canales, probably don't know much about him. Well, he was with the Seattle Seahawks for quite some time. He actually won a Super Bowl with the Seahawks. He was one of the reasons that I would say the biggest reason, as he was the quarterback coach at the time, that Geno Smith was able to revive his career. Here's a little bit of background in case you didn't already know it on Dave Canales. Started his career in the NFL in 2010 as the offensive quality control coach. He won a Super Bowl in 2013 as the offensive quality control coach and assistant quarterback coach. Then he was some specific position coaches, wide receiver coach for 3 years, quarterback coach for a few years, offensive pass game coordinator for 2 years, and then in 2022, he was the quarterback coach. That was the year Geno Smith was put back on the map. The Seahawks made the playoffs after trading away Russell Wilson. And then last year, as we all know, he was the offensive coordinator for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, going 9-8, making the playoffs, upsetting the Eagles in the first round of the playoffs before falling to the Lions. So that's the background for your new head coach of the Carolina Panthers. Call me up, 844-788-3464. Let me know what you think. I'm curious what the general vibe around the area is. I wanted to wrap up some things with the NFL, but before we do that, we're going to talk a little bit different sport here. Start your engines? Question mark. Anybody excited for NASCAR coming up in a couple of weeks? Look, you got Conference Championship Sunday. Then you got the Pro Bowl games, because it's not a Pro Bowl anymore. It's the Pro Bowl games with a flag football game. Nobody's going to watch that. I'm going to go out on a limb there. Then you have the Super Bowl the week after that. And then you have the Daytona 500 the very next weekend. And then March Madness will be right around the corner. So we can all take a deep breath. You know, football goes away and it hurts. No more football until September. There's only 3 games left in the season. Enjoy them. 2 conference championship games, 1 Super Bowl. That's it. And then there's no pro football until September. Obviously, we'll have spring football for colleges, but you know, the USFL and the XFL merger, yeah. Is that moving the needle for anybody? Anybody tuning into the USFL, XFL merger? Anybody? I didn't think so. So starting tomorrow, Saturday, 1:40 on NBC, the 62nd running of the Rolex 24 Hours at Daytona. Speed Weeks is upon us. There is action at Daytona next weekend during the Pro Bowl, right after the Pro Bowl, actually. We have the LA Clash at the Coliseum. For NASCAR, it's here. Time to get ready to watch some NASCAR. So the Rolex 24, the 62nd running of the Rolex 24, starting tomorrow and ending right around 1:45, on Sunday, right before your conference championship games begin. So scheduled that pretty well, did they, I'd say. Also in the news right now, Charlotte FC. Yeah, I know. We We haven't talked much about Charlotte FC. Well, that's because they've been in the offseason. We had our new head coach hired, and earlier today, Charlotte FC had their first friendly preseason game. Yes, against Sporting KC from Kansas City. Game ended in a 3-3 draw, but we are that much closer to kickoff in the 2024 MLS season. First game for Charlotte FC is going to be right here at home against the LA Galaxy on Wednesday, February the 7th. We are right around the corner. Getting back to the NFL here, as we were updating you on injuries and reports, another one to keep an eye on, Sam Laporta, the tight end for the Lions. He seems to be good to go. And on that topic, I'm curious what this is like a multi-thought question here. Take a look at the 4 remaining teams in the NFL playoffs, right? Kansas City, Baltimore, Detroit, and San Francisco. Forget about the quarterback. Forget about that. What I'm looking at right now, and what's kind of curious to me and starting to pop out, is the tight end position. Kansas City tight end, Travis Kelce, elite. We just talked about Baltimore and Mark Andrews coming off of IR. That is a huge game. He is elite. Detroit with Sam Laporta, an all-pro as a rookie. That's elite. And San Francisco with George Kittle. And although he is not the headline maker that he was a few years ago, he is still a very reliable target. Elite. And then you look at the NFL draft coming up. And you look at some of the players that might be going high up, and you look at the Panthers and where they sit. They could have had the number 1 overall pick. They could have traded down. Because the most intriguing player in the draft to me right now is not a quarterback. It's not a defensive lineman. It's not a corner. It's Brock Bowers, tight end out of Georgia. And I'm looking at one thing, and I'm looking at where the Chargers are going to be drafting, and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, is Brock Bowers going to go to the Chargers and cause hysteria in the AFC? Maybe. Because it seems like that's a really big part of your offense nowadays. Because everything's built for the deep ball and for the passing game and 10 to 15 yards, and the cornerback's got to be fast. Well, guess what? You got these big tight ends who are serviceable in speed. They can catch the ball. They can run the underneath route. And they can run you over and gain a first down. And that's what we're seeing right now. These 4 teams remaining, they have elite tight ends. Obviously, there's elite talent all over. But without a question, they all have this in common. You can argue the quarterback. You can argue whether or not Brock Purdy is elite. You can argue the wide receivers, because it doesn't seem to me like the Chiefs have an elite number 1 guy. You can argue the running back, because I don't know if a system is better than having one good running back like the 49ers have in McCaffrey, or compared to what the Lions do with their 2-headed monster. It seems like the common denominator right now is the tight end, at least on offense. And I'm just wondering, are we coming to a point in football where it's going to go almost full circle, where the big, heavy guys who can hit tight ends are going to become massively important? Just a thought I had when evaluating these teams this weekend in the NFC and AFC championship games. One more break on this Friday. It is the weekend coming up. When we return, we're going to have this day in sports history for you, because we have quite a few things to go over on this day in sports history, I should say. So don't go anywhere. We'll have that for you on the other side of the break. This is the Scoreboard, and we're back after this.
More of Sports Director Joe Berg's The Scoreboard is coming up on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Well, partly cloudy skies. We headed to our Friday evening, but the clouds build back in overnight. Temperatures dipping down into the mid-50s. For our Saturday, it's a soggy day on the way. Some scattered showers in the morning and then some heavy rain possible by the afternoon and evening. Just make plans to stay indoors. You'll need the rain gear for Saturday. High temperatures are in the upper 50s to near 60. For Sunday, a shower could linger in the morning, but we're clearing it out for the afternoon. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here's your WSIC community calendar. Merlefest is back, April 25th through the 28th at Wilkes Community College. Featuring nearly 100 performers, including Old Crow Medicine Show, Turnpike Troubadours, the Teskey Brothers, Nickel Creek, and more. Tickets and information can be found at merlefest.org. Listen each morning to Good Morning LKN for your chance to win tickets. Want to attend the Greater Charlotte Home and Landscape Show? How about the Charlotte Home and Remodeling Show? Throughout the day, you have your chance to win tickets. Listen to Good Morning LKN, the Home Ad Show, the News Drive at 5, and the Scoreboard. Each show gives you your chance to win. The Greater Charlotte Home and Garden Show, February 23rd through the 25th. The Charlotte Home and Remodeling Show, January 26th through the 28th. Mooresville's Parks and Recreation is excited to bring The Great Magician Murder Mystery Dinner Theater to the Charles Mack Citizen Center, Saturday, February 10th. This is not your usual murder mystery experience. An evening of theater and mystery that will have you laughing and gasping. The Great Magician Murder Mystery Dinner Theater, Saturday, February 10th. For more info, visit ourtownstage.com. Chi-Town Transit Authority is coming to Kane Center for the Arts, Saturday, February 3rd. Come hear the 8-piece Chicago tribute band, horn and woodwind sections included. Chi-Town Transit Authority, Kane Center for the Arts, Saturday, February 3rd. KaneArts.org. That's CAIN arts.org. Have an event you'd like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
Little Shavers Wood Shop and Building Supply is your one-stop source for winter electric and torpedo heaters, heat lamps, pine and cedar shavings, ice melt, and snow sleds. Plus year-round items including PPG paints and stains, tools for plumbing and heating, and automotive supplies. Over 55,000 warehouse products available. You'll find Little Shavers on Facebook and online at littleshavers.com. That's LILshavers.com.
The Scoreboard with Joe Berg continues now on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
All right, everyone. Final segment on this Friday. Beautiful day out there. Hopefully it's still nice out by the time I get out there. I don't know what the temperature is right now, but man, do I want to enjoy this nice weather while it lasts. 844 Studio 4, that's 844-788-3464. Final segment of the day, and just a couple other things in the news that I would like to go over with you. We haven't touched too much on what's happening around the league in the NBA because we've been focusing on some other things. But this is at least notable, very notable. Joel Embiid is having an incredible season. On Monday, he put up 70 points in the highest scoring showing of the season for anybody. Right now, as they stand, Joel Embiid is averaging 36 points in 34 games. Wilt Chamberlain, who averaged 50 points in 48 minutes in the 1961-62 season is the only time in NBA history that any player has averaged at least 1 point per minute. As they stand, Joel Embiid is averaging 1.05 points per minute. He is having another MVP caliber season. He averaged 33 points a game last year, and he won the MVP. So he could be closing in on back-to-back MVP awards. I thought that was pretty notable. Also in the news, if you like tennis or pay attention to tennis, Novak Djokovic, he had a 33-match winning streak at the Australian Open until today, when that streak was broken by Yannick Sinner. So Djokovic had not lost a game in Melbourne in the Australian Open since 2018. Man, different world back then. 6 years ago, pre-COVID, all that fun stuff. So I thought that would be notable for any of you tennis fans out there. Novak Djokovic eliminated from the Australian Open. And that story kind of leads into one of our This Day in Sports History pieces for today. On this day, in 1969, the first Australian Open women's tennis final, Margaret Court beat Billie Jean King 6-4, 6-1. That was on this day in 1969. And also, on this day, only a few years ago in 2020, LA Lakers basketball legend Kobe Bryant passed away in a helicopter crash in foggy conditions in the hills above Calabasas in Southern California. I remember where I was when that happened. I think most people would remember where they are when they got that news that Kobe Bryant's helicopter was down and he was in there and he perished in that accident. Still does not feel real to say that. Larger than life is what Kobe was, and he still lives on even 4 years now after that helicopter crash. That was 4 years ago on this day. Oh, let's see, what else did I pull aside here? This day in 1960, Pete Rozelle was elected the NFL commissioner. Also, the Oakland Raiders entered the American Football League. And also on this day in 1960, a big day, I guess, high school basketball sensation Danny Heater scored a record 135 points. If you're curious about that, there are plenty of documentaries and biopics, I guess is what they're called, and just general stories about Danny Heater scoring 135 points in a high school basketball game. That's, for the most part, the biggest pieces that I saw for this day on this day in sports history. Let's see, anything else noticeable? Those were the only ones that I had pulled aside as being somewhat notable. But yeah, that's what we got. The biggest one of those, obviously, being the Kobe Bryant news. Man, what a sad day that was, and what a sad week that was, and just the rest of the year. As we head into the weekend, we do have some college basketball that we can look forward to. A lot of ranked teams playing this weekend. So Saturday, we got a big slate of games. 2 o'clock, you have the 3 seed North Carolina taking on Florida State. At 4 o'clock, you have Duke playing Clemson, as well as, man, it seems like almost every other ranked team in college basketball. So you have that to look forward to on Sunday. And then on Monday, when we come back, Duke has a game against Virginia Tech. Right now, as they stand in the rankings, UConn is the 1 seed, followed by Purdue, and then the local North Carolina Tar Heels at 3. Houston at 4, Tennessee at 5, Kentucky currently at 6, won't stay at 6. Kansas, Auburn, Arizona, and Illinois. That rounds out your top 10. And yesterday, man, we had an upset yesterday. Yes, we did. That is, in fact, correct. The 9 seed Arizona fell to Oregon State, who is 2-6 in the Pac-12 conference this year. A last-second three-pointer buzzer beater for Oregon State. Fans stormed the court. You know, the school's going to get fined $100,000 of nothing. You know, might as well be 100,000 blinks of your eye. I don't know. They didn't get fined anything for that. So Oregon State victorious in that one, 83-80. There's been a lot of upsets in college basketball this year. Bracket watch, because we are getting close to it. Top overall seed is expected to be Purdue. Right now, the first team out is Gonzaga, and the last team in would be TCU. And we do have a little bit of time to go over the NHL update for you. The Carolina Hurricanes are starting to make a push. And I've been saying that the Metro is one of the best divisions in hockey. I take it back. One of the most competitive, yes. But best? The New York Rangers are the leaders of the Metropolitan Division with 61 points. That 61 points in any other division in the NHL would only be good for third place at the least. Some of them would be good for fourth place. So I'm gonna stop saying that the Metro is the best in the NHL. They're just the most competitive in the NHL. And the Carolina Hurricanes are starting to make it a competition again. They have the same amount of games played as the New York Rangers, so there are no games in hand right now. But as they stand, the New York Rangers have 61 points, and the streaking Carolina Hurricanes have 59 points. Carolina continues to dominate at home. They got that big win against Boston on the road as Jordan Martinook put a goal in with only a few minutes left on the clock. I think it was like 2 and change on the clock when he scored that one. So getting that big road win. You have Arizona coming to Raleigh tomorrow. That's a big one. It's the last game before we go to the All-Star break. Everybody's going to get some time off, be able to regroup before we make that push for the trade deadline and then the push for the playoffs. And that is how things shake down right now in the NHL with your Carolina Hurricanes. That is it for today. That is it for this weekend. It has been a long one. Beautiful day outside. And as I've been saying, I hope everybody was able to get out there and enjoy that. I am definitely going to try my best right now. Although, with it being Friday, I'm a little beat. Next week, I'll be here for the whole week. Hopefully, I won't be sick on Monday again, and we'll be all set for a solid week of the Scoreboard. And just a reminder, on Monday, head coach of Statesville basketball, Coach Nesbitt, will be in studio with us, along with one of the players, Caleb Tillman. Thanks, everyone, for joining me. Have a good one. I'll see you next week.
The new 105.